All right, so a couple things we can start with right off the bat in your setup position. Tee height. So tee height wants to be high enough so that when you put the driver behind the ball, that half of the golf ball is above the top of the driver.
Oh, okay.
So it's maybe even more than that. It's a little bit higher than what you're used to.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so now take your setup, go through all your stuff. Okay, so start right here in your setup. So how we hold the club. I'm not too concerned with like how the hands are oriented on the grip, but I do like them close together.
Okay.
So I like to keep them as close as they can get.
Okay.
Now the one thing we do have to do is keep this thumb on top. So that thumb gets on top and it kind of gets hidden by this hand.
Oh, like this.
Yeah, there you go, perfect. Okay, I'll take that all day. All right, and one more thing with this, feet a little bit wider. Perfect. So we got the tee height, ball wide, hands together, and the ball position is pretty much right in front of your front foot.
Right in front of my phone.
Yeah, so like we can use the knot on your shoe as the line for your driver.
Oh, hey.
Okay,
Oh, wow, look at
in the air.
that. Are you a pro or something?
One swing, you're done. See you later. That was good. Do you have this work event coming up?
No.
Okay.
This is just like
Just preemptive for the next time you get invited. Cool.
So what happens if I hit the tee like out there?
Tee's gonna fly, yeah, you will leave it there. The tee's gonna fly everywhere, it's gonna break. Some of them will break, some of them won't. There's no rhyme or reason behind what the tee does. Okay, so set up to this one, and if you could make just a backswing for me and take it to the top and hold it up there. Some tees don't want to cooperate. We throw them away.
I'm just getting launched to the ground.
Yes. Okay, we can talk about that one. Okay, so just take it to the top and then stop. Ready? Okay, so come on over here and look at my camera. I got it all on video. I want to show you some stuff. You try and work on your backswing by feeling as though that you can turn the front of your body back toward that camera, right? And we do that before the arms lift up. There you go. Totally different. Totally different. So show me 4 practice swings with the turn going back toward my camera and then lift up like later. Eyes where the ball would be. Good. Start again. Way better setup. Good job. That's it. One more. And hold your finish on this one. Swing all the way through. Hold your finish. And go. Hold it there. Okay, so finish position. We need this knee over the other foot there. So when that knee goes forward and it gets close to this one, everything above that turns to the target. And that's kind of the opposite of the backswing, right? Now your back is facing my camera.
Okay.
Okay, so start again. Big turn. Come on over. Yeah, good job. So for all the stuff we've talked about so far, the next little bit are just going to be cues in terms of like making sure that, you know, when you get over here and you're facing the target, that the knee's here, for example. Like small pieces now. Okay, let's keep going. Yeah, so thumb on top, hands close together. Yeah. Good. Really, really good. So once you've hit the shot and that ball's flying, just make sure that you've got the front of you forward. And if it's not there, just fake it and twist there. Just get there at the end. Getting there. Yes, good job. Really, really good. So far we've had some fly past this red flag. Our goal today is going to be the yellow flag. Okay, that's going to be the goal, to see if we can hit a driver past that flag. So I like to set goals like this just so that you keep trying to push yourself to it a little bit farther, because I mean, it's a distance game. But the more reps that you can get in with the same idea, the more you develop your swing. So like if I were to teach Tiger Woods or a tour pro, I could give them a whole bunch of information in between every shot and they'd be able to make an adjustment. When the golfer's new to the game, it's about like a little bit of info and a lot of practice on it. So it's like less feedback. So if we can get the setup correct, right, with the bends, the feet, the ball position, the tee height, all that stuff's getting you ready to go at it. None of that's going to affect like the ball, the shot being bad. That's just getting you ready to have the best chance of hitting it well. But we want to try and like maximize our ideas today on trying to turn back this way the most and turn through that way the most and the most powerfully, so that that club can hit the golf ball. And you know, if we had kind of a goal right now of like 1 in 5 or 1 in 6 are like, whoa, that was really good, great ratio. So I'd love to be able to tell you that by the end of the day you're going to be able to be like hit every ball perfect, but just we've got baby steps. And at this stage it's a lot more of let's get the reps in rather than let's like have another lesson or have more information. Because if I keep feeding you info between every shot, by the end of the day you're like, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do. He told me 75 things. And I only want you to have like 2 ideas, 2 things to think about. One this way, maybe one that way, and that's all. And so a lot of the feedback that I'm going to get today is what you feel, how, like what you're trying to do. And then we take the video to say like, hey, like you're trying to start like this, but your setup's still like this. And you can see the feedback and it's like, okay, I'll adjust. So setup stuff, pivot, turn, right to left. And then from there, we'll kind of switch through the clubs. And that's how we're going to do it.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Should I stick with this one that I have?
Yeah, like let's go like 30 balls with that driver.
And for my note, what is
The driver.
Okay.
So the driver is the biggest club in the bag. It's the longest one, obviously, the biggest head down here. It's the one that's going to have the whippiest shaft, right?
Okay.
So the whippy shaft is what makes that thing hit hard at the bottom.
Okay.
But it's the club that you're probably going to start with on almost every hole.
Okay.
So next to your putter, this is the club you'll use the most,
Okay.
and you'll start with this. So that's why, like, I'm a big believer in golf that that's the most important club in the bag. A lot of people say, no, it's the putter, because you use the putter every single hole. Well, I use that one every hole, and that's the one I start with. So if I start with the shot that goes into the woods, who cares about my putter? I've hit a ball in the woods already, you know? So I'm a big, I really believe that that's the most important one. So let's get comfortable with that one, make it the best club in the bag.
And is there like a weight to this driver, or like what is the driver that I am using?
So a driver is just the label for the biggest club in your bag. So he's got his driver too. It's going to weigh,
The biggest.
yeah, it's going to weigh pretty much the same. It's going to be built very much the same. Most golfers kind of choose their driver because, you know, they like a certain brand or they like the way that it looks. To be honest, I could give you any driver and you'd hit it pretty much the same. Okay. Way to go. Great shot.
What
This is,
should I do different?
it's hard to say. Like, you know, with new golfers, we could have what feels like the same swing produce 20 different shots. So all we're looking to do right now is try to hit it as straight as we can, as high as we can. I'll start to get in a little bit of the tweaking to make it not bleed out to the right a little bit, but still the same stuff. I still want to work on the same thing. Well, that went the opposite way. That's the first one I've seen you hit left.
They do tend to go that way.
Yes, I see that. So if we talk about the sequence of things that are happening, like when you're doing things, when you get to the top of your swing, I'd like to see you start trying to move your body forward more before kind of giving it the arm swing, before trying to swing the club. So it's almost like set up to a ball. Okay, so if I was a big wall right here, I want you to try to feel like you turn your body up against that wall, like right away from the backswing. There, and that's what's going to swing the club around for you. That had more speed. One more time. Hey, not bad, not bad. Good setup. So if we talk about like just how the arms and clubs swing, if you held it up like this, like we're playing t-ball, okay? So take it back and swing it along this line right here, right in front of you. Okay, can we use more wrists? Yeah, that little part at the end where you start using your wrist to speed the club up, that's what's gonna make it not go to the right and go a little straighter. Let me see your club. I'm gonna stand right here for me. So if I just isolated that, over here, I'm just gonna swing. If I just isolated that wrist motion, wrist, wrist, see how it goes straight? If the grip of the club, the part that I'm holding, starts to go too fast for too long, this way, that's when the club kind of sends it out to the right. And if we do that really fast, and I pull this through really quickly, the face is open, it points it out there. All right, so if we can kind of do the same thing we've talked about with trying to turn this way and turn that way, and in the middle of that turn, get the hands active, turn. See where I finished here? So I've let the club go past my left arm, and then from there, that's where I'm going to stand up into my finish against the wall. Show me a couple practice swings like that. Oh, super left. Good job. It's always good to err in one direction. Okay. We're also going to get some height, as you can see, doing this. So our power source, right, the thing that controls the merry-go-round is the big thing in the middle, right? That's our body turn to one side and to the other side. And then we want the wrists to do their thing. So you can see that the arms don't really do a whole lot. It's more of my body turn and my wrists. You got it. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. So let's do like 10 more drivers, and then grab any club in any of the irons, any of the clubs in your bag without a head cover, like 8 or 9, and we'll start hitting those off the ground. Cool. Okay. Let's go through our setup. Okay, so club face, wherever that club is pointed is where the ball is going to go. So if that club face is pointed over there, that might hit you in the ankle.
Okay.
So we always have to start with the club face straight, pointed where we want the ball to go.
Okay.
That's the difference.
And it kind of tilts this way.
Nope, just stay straight. Nice, good job. Let's go back here a little bit. You're creeping forward a touch, he's creeping back a touch. Okay, so let's go through a couple things here. Stand over here for me. When you're making your swing, it looks as though that you get to the top of your swing and you kind of regroup and say, okay, now I'm going to hit the ball. instead of having the top of the swing just be like something that happens because you change direction. And I think that when you get to the top and stop, the first thing you do is you start to power the golf club. And so when the golf club starts to go really fast, the body doesn't get to move. So what I want you to feel like you're doing in your swing is we're going to take the golf ball away, or take the club away by turning this way, right? But I want you to feel like once you finish that turn, get out of there and go this way. So this turn of the body never stops. It can never stop. But if it does stop, that means that everything has to stop, and it's not going to, like, it takes too long to get this to speed up and move forward before the club gets there. And that's kind of what we want to do. We want, like, if I did it on this line, like my body and the club goes back, but what makes the club change direction is the fact that I'm already turning this way, right? So you can kind of see it's like a fishtail, right? And so my arms catch up to my body. So if we think about like this point on us right here, that point has to go one way and the other way, and it's the part that feels like moves the fastest in the swing because it never stops, right? And it feels the fastest when it changes direction. Okay, so this part of you, back and through, and never let it change direction. The swing might feel like it takes less time. Okay, here you go. I'll take that one. Can never be too much. Feet a little closer together. There you go. So a rule of thumb for the feet, it's like a basketball between your ankles. Cool. Back and through. Good job. That was a great swing. That had a lot of flow to it. I like it. Nice. Yeah, not bad. Okay, so hit this next shot, and regardless of the outcome, hold your finish. Okay, not too bad. So a little bit off balance, right? So if you can feel like you're trying to change direction and then get as tall as you can here, you can, like, all that means is that you're using your body, but when you kind of lose your balance on your feet, it's because the arms are swinging so powerfully upstairs that it makes this kind of like lose its balance. It's almost like you're trying to swing standing on ice. Okay? So we have an internal center of gravity, right? So if you stood here like this, you can feel like you sink your center of gravity all the way down to your feet. And if that's really stable, you can do anything you want up here and you're not going to lose your balance. But if you flipped it, and now your center of gravity's up here because this is what you're trying to swing hard, that's where the feet start to get a little bit off. So the part of us that's furthest from our center of gravity can move the fastest and let's call it the wildest, right? It's the wildest. Like if I took a rope and I held onto the rope, I can spin it around like this. So this part's really stable as this part flies. I want this part to be stable as this part flies. So when you're trying to change direction, feel as though that you're grounded with your feet and your legs, and you're using your feet, your legs, and your knees to get you forward and tall. So like the engine of the swing is like from here down, not from here up. But I think that like changing direction's a big one, and then just feeling like you can get tall into your finish will be the next step. I like it. Good job. Way to go. Whoa, well done. Little thump into the ground, but that was a good swing. I'm pretty sure you've hit the most balls today. You got that part going for you. So part of getting that club out of the ground, again, standing up, but standing up forward. You know, you might feel like at the end of your swing, you're trying to grab the flag. There you go.
Well, no, I mean, it's in like over 100.
Yeah, good one. Okay, let's go back to the driver on the tee.
Okay.
How you doing over there?
Me?
Yeah,
Excellent.
good. Taller. So the one place you could feel like you get taller is in your left knee. Try to feel like your left leg has straightened before the club hits the ball. That's a big power source. It might even feel like you jump, but just really straighten that left leg really hard before the club gets to the ball. Give me some practice swings with that first. Straighter. There, good job. Little hop, right? That's what we're looking for, that little bit of a hop. Good. So I could probably tell you that your biggest power source in your swing is timing and being aggressive with that leg straightening. When that leg straightens, it's going to start releasing the club like it's a big power source.
So the entire time I'm pulling the club back, my knees are bent.
Totally, yep.
Totally bent.
Well, just they're bent for sure. Any amount, they're bent. Yeah.
But then it's when I start hitting this way that my left.
They both might feel like they straighten. I mean, the guys that hit the ball the longest, the long drive tour players, well, they're not players, they're just long drive tour hitters, both of their legs are straight before impact. So they've jumped off the ground before the club hits the ball. I saw that, Wes. So when it comes to practicing, like going to the driving range, I'd recommend, like I'm assuming you'd be using his clubs.
Or rental, because we probably got at the same time.
Okay, driving range rentals are going to be terrible.
Okay.
Golf course rentals, not too bad. But I would say that like if you do go to the range, you can use his driver, it's fine. And I'd recommend like just the driver and just the 9-iron. They're the only two clubs you really need to hit, because it doesn't matter what sticks in your hand, you're trying to move your body a certain way. So, you know, you can practice with the 9-iron a little bit, but a lot of your shots should be with your driver. It's the one you'll use the most, and it's the first shot you'll hit on any golf course. So it's the one where you're going to be the most anxious, the most nervous, the most, oh my God, people are watching. Be comfortable with the one club you've got. I really find that most golfers don't practice their driver enough. It's like we talked about how many times you hit it. We've talked about how important it is. So like make it your best friend first, and then we work through the other ones when we need to. But like all the irons are technically the same. If you can hit a 6-iron good, you can hit a 9-iron good.
What is the difference between a 6 and a 9?
So as the number gets bigger, right, so 1 to 10, as the number gets higher and higher, the club gets shorter and there's more angle. So that means the ball goes higher but not as far.
So, okay, so use a 9-iron if I want to hit something closer. Okay.
You got it. So like the 9-iron might go 100 yards, the 8-iron goes 110, the 7-iron goes 120. And it kind of has, you know, a 10 or 15 yard gap between each club, and you kind of work your way up. But like when my wife started playing golf 10 years ago, and she still has clubs with plastic on them. Like she hasn't even touched them yet. So she's comfortable with her driver, and then, you know, she hits it down the fairway, and then she has like 3-wood, 5-wood, 7-wood, and 2 hybrids. Well, she really likes her 4 hybrid. So she always hits that one. And then she chips it on the green and she putts. So like she uses 5 out of her 12 clubs. And the other ones have really never been hit.
Okay, so I can just use his.
Totally. And I would recommend if you're going to find your own set of clubs, you don't need a full 14 club set. You need just like a 7-9 club set. Go to Golf Town, you can find it all with a matching bag.
Okay. But I'm okay to use his until.
For sure. Until you're ready to go, for sure. But if you were looking at a set of clubs at Golf Town, Adams, the name Adams, yeah, it's the one to look for. Head covers match the bag, it looks pretty, they don't have a full set. They're the best full sets made for women.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I were to say go to a work thing, drag everything in that bag with me, is there any I shouldn't use?
No.
I don't know how to, I guess.
I don't think there's any that you shouldn't use. I would just say, like, you know, you're going to hit your driver all the time. Whichever long club you feel comfortable hitting off the ground. It could be any of those 3 that are leaning there. Find one that you like and use it every time. And then you'll probably need 1 club to chip with. Putt pitching wedge or a 9-iron or something like that just to chip it onto the green. But yeah, just literally find 1 club you like hitting off the tee, the driver, and then 1 club you like hitting off the ground, and those are your 2. Yeah, it's way more important to be comfortable than choosing the right club where you might not even make good contact with it because it's like, oh, it's new, how do I do this? Just take my wife's approach. 4 golf clubs, the other one's just like tomato steaks.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Keeps it simple.
Yep.
gotta soften it a little bit. That's what you got to do. That was terrible. Oh, that's not usual? Okay, well, thanks. Well, I mean, you still gotta grip it a little. Yeah, I try to hold. You don't want, like, if you're getting, like, if you go a couple times, alright, you're gonna have to build up a caliper. You shouldn't really get this. I'm not worried.
So if you can feel like you're already on your way up, straightening that left leg before the club gets to the ball, it should help launch it in the sky. But I like everything you're doing. Looks good.